So amp sims and digital plugins, they've kind of become a bit of a necessity for me these last few months. I've always been like dead against digital modelling and tweaking and all that kind of thing, but obviously if you're seeing in my intro to this video, I can't really crank up my amps in the house at certain times now because obviously I've got a little baby that's going to be sleeping. So I've started using some amp sims, and I started using Logic, and the amp designer, pedal board designer in that is great. So I found quite a few usable tones in there, and I dropped on Bias Effects by Positive Grid. I've had this for about probably a week now, and I've kind of set up some presets of my own. I'm running it like I would normally run my amp and pedal board setup. So I'm setting up a little pedal board, then an amp, and then a speaker, cab, and then micing up like I would probably normally do in a studio or live. And to be honest with you, in a recording, I've not really been able to tell much difference between that and a real amp. It reacts the same to my volume control, which is something that I always test out a solid state or modelling kind of situation with. If I can roll the volume back on my guitar and it cleans up nice, if I can wind it back up and I get a nice overdrive, I'm sorted. I'm not too worried about stomping on pedals all the time. I can kind of set up a nice overdrive tone and go from there really. And Bias Effects is doing that for me at the minute, so I'm quite happy with that. So I'm kind of back on track. So that now means that I can record at any time of the day. I'm not going to interrupt my little baby sleeping. I'm not going to set him off crying. I can continue my workflow. Everything's brilliant. So yeah, Bias Effects. Let's have a look at some sounds. So here we are in Logic. I've just opened up a new document basically, and this is Bias Effects. So at the minute, this is a patch that I've set up myself. It's running their version of a Dr. Z amp. There are my settings. Okay, in front of the amp, I've got a compressor. So obviously that's based on what looks like a Dynacomp. And then I've got a Klon style drive, and then I've got a TS808 style drive, and then in what would be the effects loop of the amp, I'm running a slapback delay, a tremolo pedal, and then a reverb pedal. And then for a cab, I'm using one of Celestian's Celestian Blue style IRs with a SM57 mic'd up on the speaker. So as you can see at the minute, I've got the compressor turned off, I've got the Klon turned off, I've got the tube screamer turned on, the amp's turned on, the delay's turned on, the tremolo's turned off, and the reverb is turned on. Okay, so let's set up a recording and see how that sounds. Okay, so I've got my Telecaster plugged straight into the interface with the patch that I've just been talking about. Bridge pickup on my Telecaster, what better way to demonstrate my kind of country twang patch. Set up something that resembles a JTM 45, so the amp model's a JTM 45 clean. Again, I've got a boost, kind of overdrive, which is the Klon, so I think that's turned on. I've got another tube screamer that can kind of all the gain off, all the level up, typical tube screamer settings, and then I've got a like a more heavier overdrive distortion, which obviously if you look at the layout of this pedal is based on an OCD, which does pretty convincing representation of an OCD, I think. At the minute that's turned off, so that's the amp. I've got the gain up full. What a better way to run a Marshall than turn your gain up, yeah. And then I've got a Binson Echo Rec style plugin for a delay, which is turned on at the moment. I've got another reverb pedal, same as the previous one, just there. And again, I'm using a Celestion Blue, mic'd up again with an SM57. This one's kind of on the edge of the speaker, just there. It's got loads of other speaker sims and IRs loaded in this already, but the Celestion one is the Celestion Alnico Blue is one of my favourites. So again, let's go over and grab another guitar and we'll see how this sounds. Okay, so my double cut Les Paul special for this one. I thought nice combination, Gibson Marshall, bridge pickup. This is how the delay sounds. So it's kind of like a fast slap with the Echo Rec. Same amp settings, same delay, same speaker, but instead of using the Klon, I'm now going to use the, obviously, a OCD type clone plugin, whatever you want to call it, to give it a bit more of a heavier rock sort of sound. So this time, PRS, pair of humbuckers, something a little bit heavier, the OCD clone, is that what you call it? Into the JTM style amp, same delay, same speaker cab. Okay, and just to demonstrate how well bias amp cleans up as well with the guitar volume, here's the volume up full. As you gradually roll the volume back. Again. I think that kind of works for me. So, a couple of quick short samples. Let me know what you think. Are you using plugins now instead of using real amps for recording? Do you have to use them out of necessity? Do you choose to use them? Again, I'm not a pedal tweaker, I'm not an amp tweaker as such for when it comes to modelling stuff, so I've set it up quite basic how I would normally use an amp live. I'm still not at the point where I want to use something like this live, but for recording purposes, it's working out brilliantly so far. I could go down the universal aux or the 2 notes type route with the attenuator load boxes, but I just thought, you know what, this is kind of a cheaper option, and I can run everything in the box. I don't have to run cables everywhere as well, keeping my setup simple. So far I think it's working out pretty well. Okay guys, as ever, thanks a lot for checking out another Tea Time Treats. If you've not already, hit that subscribe button down below and the little bell icon as well. Give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment in the box. I really want to know what you think about these videos. Is there anything that you specifically want to see? Is there anything you want me to talk about? Is there anything you want to hear? Just let me know. Drop it in the comments down below. So, see you next time.